their whole lives, small players have never had a chance like the one we have now in the crypto space. If you can get from 2 trillion to 100 trillion in the next 5 to 10 years, you will become very rich. People who do the right thing will never have to think about money again. I'm also going to play clips of you talking to the top CEOs and financial market infrastructures about how this is a once-in-a-generation chance. Do not mess it up, pay attention to this. It's important to remember that digital assets are the first asset class in history that regular people joined before banks did. That's why everyone is so angry. Before it became a Wall Street phenomenon, it was a phenomenon among regular people. It's one of the first types of assets you have to come up with another asset class. It turned the idea of what power is, how it works, and what a power system looks like on its head. So I don't want to lose that knowledge. That information was very helpful, even if it meant normalizing rules and taking in the kinds of bad player problems. That is why we shouldn't forget that giving a lot of people access to technology is the best way to keep it from being harmful. Okay, let's keep going. We have, of course, I showed Ralph Hall this video and told him that stores running ahead of banks once every generation has never happened. Do not mess this up. Pay attention. You have the power to make a lot of money and give it to a lot of different people who aren't included. The industry I work in is worth about $2.5 trillion now, and I think it will be worth about $100 trillion by 2032 or so. That is just extrapolating the standard curve for adoption. You are not doing anything strange. Going from 2.5 trillion to 100 trillion would be the fastest and biggest increase in wealth in the history of the world. But this time, it's in the hands of many. This changed the way stores work. The stores were run by the shop front. People have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to invest in and own this part of the internet's infrastructure. That's all I have to say to you, man. Listen, most of these billionaires got there they had to work for that money. If they didn't get it from their parents or a trust. If you ask 100 millionaires how they got rich, I bet 90% of them will say that they invested in a technology that everyone used, which is what made them rich. All of these other billionaires have the same chance as us. We're not quite billionaires yet, but I think that if we make the right choices over the next few months and years, you and I could be looking at ourselves in the mirror and seeing billionaires. That's my goal here. What do you want to achieve? They should be written down somewhere so that you can check them and see if you are still on track to meet your goals. What should I do? Should I learn? Do I need to get bigger? Where do I need to learn? Where do I need to grow? What do you think I should learn? You are responsible. The chance you have is something that most people say is a scam. It won't go anywhere, but you know that. You are made differently because the way you think is different from everyone else's, right? They'll all tell you how lucky you are, right? Oh, they would be there with you too if they had the chance, right? You did tell them, though, right? You have told your family and friends about this chance. It seems like everyone thinks you're either not really there or are trying to hide something. It doesn't matter. They're not paying attention. Their ears will finally tune in one day, but it will be too late for them because the institutions will already be in place, leaving them with little to buy and little room to move, right? From 50 trillion to 100 trillion is a 1x change, but from 2 trillion to 100 trillion is a 50x change. Don't forget that not every object will move the same way. Is it true that some assets will go 0x or more? It takes place all the time in crypto, and if a major stage like XRP is used to process the world's financial assets to move value, tokenized value around the world, to hold that value on the XRP ledger, to create CBDCs and connect different networks around the world, that value will be moved around. Where do you think this price will go if XRP is used correctly in any of those systems? It will cost a few dollars, a few $100s, or a few $1,000s. What do you think? It is incredibly democratic and equal, which is not the case with the financial structure. Yes, just the way you are. This is the only asset class where retail has front-run the institutional. He said so well. The institutions were the ones who bought that asset class and then tried to sell it to regular people. So this is an interesting business to keep an eye on. I've seen crypto and I've been all over the world a lot. Crypto has changed the lives of a lot of people and will continue to do so. That is a part of the X line. For some, that's part of the fun. This is also the DTCC confirming that retail has the upper hand over institutions. I can't remember the name of the woman confirming this. Here it is. Someone well known in Boston once said, "These two students are coming, these two kids are going to do well, and things are starting to move forward. like the approvals of markets where more certainty is letting institutions adopt new technologies. Bit21, other tools like ETH and Bitcoin spot ETFs have been very helpful in moving the cause forward. It just shows that desire is high, is not giving up. There are a few things about this that are not the same. Retail has led and institutions have followed for the first time in our history. The confidence we're getting right now from regulatory and the lead is also a first. Do not forget that this is the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, DTCC. They make $2 to $3 quadrillion. The DTCC is the only market infrastructure in the United States that clears more stocks each year than it does. You seem to like the CME Group, which is a derivatives market, but they are not quite the same as other big ones in the world. Our company CME works with Ripple. There was work between the DTCC and Ripple. People from the DTCC have come to work on the Ripple board. There are many links between things, and XRP is the only asset that can be used to fill the gap between cross-border payments and the tokenization of assets in the US. Until all the other assets are regulated, BTC and XRP are both used.